I'm really looking forward to talking to Amanda Shw. I mean, she's one of my favorites. You know, we've been friends. We do a lot of stuff together. So I think one thing that's going to be kind of weird about this is that, I don't know. I mean, this is like an interview. So it's like we're friends and we talk all the time, but this is going to be an interview. But I'm really looking forward to spending some time with Amanda.
Is this thing working? This is my first time, so bear with me. I've never done this before. I'm so excited to be here with Scoot. When Scoot told me he was starting his new show, I told him how excited I was for him. It's always an exciting time to begin a new project, and I'm thrilled to be able to help be a part of that. And I think one of the best things about a show like this is that, you know, this is truly about people sharing their stories, people connecting. That's what we do in real life, and bringing that to life on camera is truly something special. So I can't wait to see how this series evolves.
She's an extraordinary musical talent that personifies the word contradiction. She's sweet, but she's sassy. She's innocent, but she emits sexuality. She's country, but she's rock. She's Cajun, but she's punk. She is singer-songwriter and great fiddle player Amanda Shw, and we welcome her to this episode of Scoot on the Air.
Hey, how's it going?
It's great to see you.
Great to see you too.
You and I have been friends for a long time, so this is kind of strange because it's an interview. So I'm interviewing you, but we talk so much and we're friends, so I don't know, some of it might seem like interview questions, but let's just have fun with this.
I'm so excited.
So we're at Oceana Grill, which is really a great place in the French Quarter. 7:39
There's always
contact.
a line here.
There's always a line, but you know, because you know we brought in cameras, we got to go past the line. But yeah, this is a real popular spot.
It really pays off to be friends with Scoot.
Yes, great. Great food, and we're gonna get some raw oysters here in just a few minutes, and we'll bunch down on some of that. And then we're gonna have like a main course. And interestingly, look, I ordered mine first last time in our last episode, but she liked it she liked the idea so much, she's gonna get the same thing. So anyway, so your story is an amazing story, Amanda, because you started playing violin at the age of 4.
Yep.
And you started out playing classical violin.
Yep.
At the age of 4.
I know, yeah. And then, you know, I was watching TV and they showed an orchestra and they showed the violin, and it was truly just love at first sight. You know I tell this story all the time, but it really was. It was one of those moments you don't forget. Like, I knew when I saw the violin, I was like, that looks so cool. That's what I want to do.
Okay, but that's interesting. I mean, where did that come from? And I understand that people have those feelings. I mean, I remember seeing something that made me want to do what I'm doing now. Not at 4, but I still saw it like, that's what I want to do. So where did that come from inside, that you saw that and boom?
You know, it was just something about, I think, the way it sounded. The way it looked, and I was just so curious. It was, I think, more of a curiosity. I was like, how does that person make that sound with that instrument? It just looked so cool, and I was like, I have to figure that out. It was more of a curiosity. And you know, I think the funny thing too is that, you know, I know a lot of people know me as a violin player. They know me as the fiddle, Amanda Shw. You know, sometimes they'll look at me and they'll recognize me in the store and they'll be like, "What's your name? You're the fiddle player." You know, they know me. But when I think of myself, I don't necessarily think of myself as a fiddle player or a violin player. I'm a musician, and my violin is just like my mouthpiece or my voice. I could be holding any instrument, and the way I express myself when I'm on stage wouldn't be any different. It just happens to be the way I express myself on stage, the way I say or what I want to say, you know, when I'm singing and playing music, like that just happens to be the mouthpiece.
So what's the difference between a violin and a fiddle?
Well, you know, there's no difference really, other than I just don't think you'd tell like the first chair of the LPO. That's a nice fiddle you have there.
But it is a fiddle.
It's actually really the same instrument. But Dennis McGee, I don't know, have I ever told you this?
No.
Dennis McGee, who is like the godfather of like all fiddle songs, Cajun music fiddle songs. And he said, the difference between a violin and a fiddle is that a violin's carried in a case and a fiddle's carried in a rice sack.
That's great.
So true. But, I've read a lot of interest. Ken Ray Fontenot, he had a fiddle he made out of a cigar box. And he also wrote a lot of great, there's really interesting stories about fiddles out there.
Now, at the age of 8, you are the youngest soloist to ever perform for the Baton Rouge Symphony.
Yep.
Are you a prodigy?
Oh, I don't know about that. I just, I feel very fortunate in my life. I kind of got on this ride and, it's never really stopped, and it's really awesome. I will say, I've worked hard, while I feel very fortunate. I do know that I have worked hard, but it's a mixture of both. Both like great circumstances and working very hard.
But going back to what you felt when you first saw a violin, do you believe in reincarnation?
I don't know. That's such a deep question for a Monday night.
I don't know. Could you have been here before and like, oh,
ooh, yum, just in time.
Right. We're going to dig into these in just a minute.
Yes.
Raw oysters from Oceana Grill. Maybe you've been here before, and maybe that's where that intrinsic love of the violin comes from.
It could be. I think there are so many things, but I think ultimately the great thing about music is it really brings into perspective the here and now.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about living in the moment, and I feel like one of the things that does that best is music. It brings people together. When I'm playing on stage, I just got back last night from a show. I played in Amelia Island, Florida, and it was so amazing to me. I felt so inspired that it was a private party, but my Dr. Michelle, who is a fan of mine, was so inspired by my music and my Red Plastic Cup video that she had the team decorate her party to look like my music video, and when I showed up, it looked like the Red Plastic Cup music, and that's just so inspiring that, like, it's such a roundabout circle. It never really starts or ends, the inspiration. It kind of just grows, and it's pretty insane that music's able to do that, and it really just brings into like, whoa, you're working hard, and the fact that, someone liked something I did enough to want to recreate it is pretty awesome, and I feel really happy about that. I really do, and it just makes my life so awesome.
All right, we have a lot to talk about. Amanda did something extraordinary when her performance at the French Quarter Fest was rained out. Also, you may not know this about her, but she used to drop out.
Beauty school dropout.
But that was the best thing that ever happened to her. So let's get into some of these oysters.
Hands up, let's hold them high. So come on, can we sing a little louder? My body's shaking and my feet are getting lighter. Yeah, give me that, don't tease.
So wait, so you as we're eating these oysters, you were telling me about you go to New York and you're on the Rosie O'Donnell show and you're showing them how.
Yeah.
You're 8 years old.
Yes.
And you're showing them how to eat crawfish.
Yes, we had like 5 pounds of crawfish flown up there. It was so funny backstage because when you grow up in Louisiana, you just eat crawfish, and it was just like, even me being like, come on, guys, like showing them how to eat. It was really funny, and they're like, are we doing it right? And showing them sucking the heads. It's gotta seem so foreign.
I know.
Maybe when you grow up here, you're just
I one time there was a new weather guy who had come to town, new meteorologist on one of the local stations, and I said, well, he just has to learn how to pinch tails and suck heads. He called a lawyer. They came to the radio station to sue me for making it seem like he's gay.
Oh my God.
And I'm going, are you kidding me? No, it's like so we explained this whole thing. At that point, he and his attorney were pretty embarrassed.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Okay, so Dropout Beauty. You're at Mount Carmel, and you have a decision to make. You could finish high school, or you move on with your career. Tell me about that decision.
Definitely a hard decision, but looking back on it, it's great. Mount Carmel is such a great school, and I have lifelong friends. And anytime I meet someone that's like, I went to Mount Carmel, it's like it's another connecting way. It's so funny here in New Orleans that when you ask somebody like, where'd you go to school, they're not talking about college, they're talking about high school, you know, they always say. So, you know, truly is a sisterhood, sisters for life, and I love my fellow Cubs. And yeah, I had the opportunity, you know, post Katrina, I started traveling. They released the Hurricane on the Bayou film, and I started traveling for that. And I was on Rounder Records at the time, so I was also traveling for that. So my travel schedule was so hectic that I decided to get my GED. And, you know, I tell everybody now, I meet with people sometimes, and sometimes you meet people that, you know, they want to tell you how something's done, and sometimes you just meet nice people, but I always just tell them, look, I have a GED. Everything I've done is totally shooting from the hips. And it's okay. You know, I guess at the time I probably felt more self-conscious about that decision, you know, watching my friends go to college, watching my friends really, you know, their lives were developing in a different way than mine. But it's just different, you know. My life was also evolving, and looking back on it, it was what was right for me. And it doesn't necessarily, I think there is this idea that you have to go to school and you have to get this kind of education in order to succeed in life. And I guess I don't believe that. You know, it's right for some people, and if you have certain things you want to pursue, you should absolutely do that, and I encourage that. But there is such a thing as, like, when they say like life education, you know, for someone like me, being on the road, traveling, going to writing sessions in LA and Nashville was what was right for me. So
I mean, yeah, if you want to be a doctor, you can't just go off and quit school and decide I'm going to be a doctor.
Yeah,
no, where the
that's
knives?
not gonna work
Give me
out.
some knives here. But you did study music at Southeastern Louisiana University Community College.
yes.
What did you learn there?
Well, I was 4, so we that's when I started taking. That's where I took lessons.
Okay.
And they have a great community school. On my foundation, I use so much of what I learned there still, theory, the just technique. So the entire first semester that my violin teacher, Dr. Yaakov Boldman, the entire first semester, he wouldn't even let me play the violin. It was just about putting the violin on the shoulder. This is how you stand, and this is, you know, and respecting your instrument. He didn't even let me like play a note. Like the entire first semester, I had to be patient because it was really important to him that the relationship between your instrument and respecting your instrument and making a sound, you know, out of it is, you know, there's a responsibility, you know, with your instrument. And that's
So you're 4 years old at this college, at this community college. I mean, did you like go to toga parties and stuff?
No, definitely not. But my violin teacher, he was funny. He would say, he never called me by my name. He'd say, girl. He'd say, girl, you're playing like a stupid person, you know. And one time he would say, but he loved me too. So it wasn't like, you know, nobody needs to call anybody. But one time he was just like, you know, and he was so mad at me because he could tell I hadn't practiced. He was so mad at me. He was like, do you know where the heart of your violin is? It's right here. This is where it is. And he's like fussing at me, and I was like, no, Dr. Goldman, the heart of my violin is right here.
Well, I want to go back to this idea about school, and I think this is the reality of school. When it comes to a lot of things, especially the arts, they can teach you how to do something. They could teach you how to play music, but they can't teach you how to make a hit record because that comes from you.
That is exactly. Ooh,
Oh,
wow.
nice. This is the blackened shrimp salad from which. Can we get a menu when you get a chance? Please, thank you. This is the blackened shrimp salad.
The size of this shrimp. This is how you know this is Louisiana shrimp right here, because the size is just gorgeous, and they're like the perfect pink color.
Size matters. You know.
Yes, I guess.
Okay. Right. Yeah, you know, they have just great seafood here. They're really known for their crab cakes, and gumbo's awesome. The New Orleans dishes here at Oceana Grill are really, look, I'm from here, and the local dishes really taste like great local dishes. Well, are you going to rob the place, or you just want to make sure you don't get something on you?
What is it that they do? I think they do like this, right? They do, it's like this, right? When you like, is that?
All right,
like,
nice.
Does this look
Nice.
good? This is my new look.
See, yeah. Anyway, if you're in New Orleans, come to Oceana Grill, basically at the corner of Conti and Bourbon. So when we come back, I want to talk to you about the whole contradiction. You know, you're sweet, but you're sassy, and you're this, but you're also that. So let's dive
That
into
gives
this.
us something to chew on, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We'll chew on that
Exactly.
whenever
All
we
right.
get back.
Who wants that rock and roll lifestyle? Who wants that rock and roll lifestyle? Nah.
Seriously, I mean, do I have anything in between my teeth?
You checked me, I checked you.
Oh, you're good.
Okay. That's
I mean-
good because my toothbrush, I accidentally got, I had a situation this weekend where my body wash exploded in my suitcase.
Okay, wait a minute. We're talking about a situation here with Amanda Shw toothbrush and a body wash.
Yeah, and my toothbrush got the body wash on it, so
Oh, not good.
not good at all. So I've been like definitely delicately.
But you know, it's
pull
difficult.
all
You know,
the
when
sides
you it should be so easy, but it like if you're talking to somebody and you're eating with somebody and they have something between their teeth, it's like you don't want to tell them, but you want to tell them.
Yeah, you don't want to be a bad friend and not tell them, but you also
But
don't want to
then-
be a bad friend and tell them
Hey,
either.
yeah, you gotta.
Hey, listen,
Yeah.
you need to fix it.
Yeah. Okay, look. So I described you in the opening as a contradiction. You're sweet, you're sassy. You're innocent, but you have this sensuality about you. Are you okay with those descriptions? Do they describe
Yeah.
Amanda Shw?
You know, I've always felt like, why box yourself into anything? I don't know. I've never understood why, you know, you've ever, like, why do you have to choose? You know, I remember when coming up in the industry, you know, and I think there's so much like, well, who are you going to be? And, you know, and even now too, like, it's like, well, what kind of artist are you? And we have algorithms that tell us what we should and should not like. And just like, there's something so wrong with that to me. Like, why should you base what happened yesterday? Like, why should today be based on what happened yesterday? What if yesterday I wanted to look at pictures of dogs and today I want to look at pictures of food, you know? And it's just so funny to me that in the day and age that we talk about being individuals and stuff, I feel like more than ever, I feel like Facebook, Instagram, it really wants to tell you how to be, who to be, or whatever. And I'm just not a fan of that, you know? Every day could be a little bit different. It's just about being who you are.
Let's order a dessert for the end. What looks good to you?
Oh my gosh. That looks good.
The whole thing, yeah.
What are we gonna do?
I don't know, you pick.
Oh man. Well, let's do pecan pie. That's a typical Louisiana
Okay.
favorite. Yeah?
All right, so when he has a chance, we'll end with pecan pie.
Nice. You know what I like about interviewing with Scoop? It comes with perks. You get fed, you get good conversation. I'm all around winning right now for Monday night.
I'm glad. You know, people have questioned our friendship, and I think it's really weird, but I want to set the record straight on something. I didn't watch Amanda grow up. I was in Philadelphia, in Miami, Seattle, in Portland, in Denver. I was all over the country while she was growing up. When I came back to New Orleans, Amanda was a young woman, and we're friends. But you know, for me to call you sexy, to think back on you being a child performer, if I would have known you then, maybe that would be a little weird.
Yeah, I mean, also too, yeah, we're friends, and you know, I think one thing people should keep in mind, you know, it's easy when you're on the outside of something to judge, you know, even for me or for you to look at, you know, relationships, you know, even between like family members and stuff, like, you know, it's easier on the outside to look at somebody or, like I said, a relationship and judge it and have thoughts, and nobody really knows what's going on, you know, with you or with those relationships other than the people in those relationships. So Scoot and I are friends and totally cool, and all of my friends know that I don't mind telling them or picking on them if they say something or I say something dumb or whatever. Yeah. It's all honest and all friends here.
So what is the most?
It's really hard whenever it's two sexy people talking.
Well,
so you know,
hey.
I know that's why. I mean, you know, that's why people like vampire movies.
But you know,
and stuff. You know, so.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, especially to women, vampires are sexy.
I'm just saying. So it's just really, really hard. I understand that it's hard to look at this.
In
yeah.
this whole controversy about the song "Baby It's Cold Outside," is it a date rape song or not? Well, I did a little research, and I thought about the classic done by Maurice Chevalier, "Thank Heaven for Little Girls," and basically it's a song about how this guy, when he sees girls 5, 6, or 7, he's thinking about what they're going to become, basically so he can have.
Relationships with them.
Exactly. So it's like, that's really weird to be thinking about that when you see a 5-year-old. That's weird.
That is.
Okay,
yeah.
Most embarrassing
But
thing
it
to
is really cold outside, y'all, for real.
It
so
is.
I would be like, I need an Uber,
Oh, so
but
you-
I'm not leaving till the Uber pulls right up to the door.
But you wouldn't stay. You'd take the Uber.
I probably would. Can't touch this. No, 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 no.
What's the most embarrassing thing that happened to you on stage?
Oh, somebody else asked me this recently too, and I said slipping and falling probably. That's happened to me twice. I slipped and fall. But I actually kept playing. I think so. You know what? I don't know if I've ever told this story before. Yeah, Rockin' Doopsie Jr. Everybody knows he's my godfather. And but the very first time though, he introduced me. There was also, I think, a wedding. I was like 8, and there was a wedding. So it's not like we knew each other, and he accidentally introduced me by the wrong name. He said Amanda Woods.
Your godfather?
My godfather, Rockin' Doopsie. I don't know if he even remembers that because that was so long ago, but there was like he was like playing a wedding, and there was somebody else also named Amanda, and he got the names confused. So I don't know. Maybe that's embarrassing. I don't know.
What makes you really happy?
Hanging out with my friends, having dinner. Yeah, that really does. It makes me happy.
What makes you cry?
When people are disrespecting each other, it really does make me upset. And to think that when people don't treat each other equally or fairly, that does make me really upset.
Yeah. Tell me something. People know so much about you. Tell us something about Amanda Shw that people don't know, that you'd like them to know.
Well, I really do love what I do. I run my business myself. It's a small business. I have a great small team of people, and I'm really proud of LaDana and Stewart, and of course my band, The Cute Guys. Everybody is here in Louisiana. It's a Louisiana-based business. I've known all the people that I work with for over 10 years, each person over 10 years. And it's not like some sort of big fancy operation happening here or anything like that. All the ideas, that we do, at least for like the last 5 years. About 5 years ago, I changed. I got rid of the national management, the national agent, and everything, because I really wanted to work with people I care about, and they care about me, and we have all mutual love and respect for each other, and that's become some of the best part. That's like the last 5 years is probably some of the best work that I've done, or at least the work that I've enjoyed the most, for sure.
I've been part of this business for a very long time, so I know what's out there. Have you missed opportunities because you wouldn't allow people to financially or physically take advantage of you?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely that, and you have to just be careful about the people that you work with. I'd say that's probably the sad reality of someone who grows up in the industry, is knowing at such a young age that there is that in the world. Sometimes it does make me a little bit sad that it's like, not my distrust, but like, I'm always aware that there could be a darker side of someone, or a darker side of something that seems really good. And I think a lot of it has to do with growing up in the industry and seeing some of the worst come out in people.
But when you hear stories about the Harvey Weinsteins of the world, I mean, I'm sure you have firsthand experience with those types.
Yeah, I mean, that really is. It's everywhere. It really is. And if you think that your hometown or your industry is immune to it, you're very fortunate that you haven't run into it. I feel fortunate enough, though, that I have great people in my corner. You know, my Bandicoot guys have been with me for 18 years and definitely have offered to kick butt if I've ever needed it. So, but I'm proud to be a hometown girl, and I'm proud to be someone that that's been able to stay true enough to who I am and still pay my bills, and that's the best. I feel like that's the best of both worlds and the best that you can get out of life.
Well, that's admirable. One moment in your career just really, really impressed me. French Quarter Fest, you are like the spokesperson for French Quarter Fest. You're on billboards and bus signs, and you were like one of the featured people, and you're one of the featured acts at French Quarter Fest. It's storming.
It was more than storming.
No,
it was insane.
It was insane. The whole day wiped out,
Yeah.
canceled. Amanda sent me an email saying how disappointed she was that it happened. I wrote a blog about this April 16th, 2018. And it was about Amanda deciding to do something to satisfy her fans, because she has so many devout fans that they come from all over to see her. And she sent me this text. The festival did the right thing by canceling the fest and look out for the safety of the people. But I really honestly felt badly for my fans who spent money to travel here. Oh, that looks good. And 2 spoons, oh yeah.
Yes.
That should be illegal. To spend money to come here and travel here, take sick days from work, and had nothing to do. And I felt really badly for the fans. So she put this show together at Hard Rock Cafe. So this is the day that it rained and everything was going to be canceled. With 18 hours to prepare the show, with only social media to help her get the word out, Amanda and her team got together and put on, with the Hard Rock Cafe, put on this incredible live show for all of her fans, free, at the Hard Rock Cafe. That was a very, very admirable thing to do, but it shows your devotion to your fans.
Thank you. I mean, yes, I wanted to do something for the fans, but it was great for me as well. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I so look forward to seeing my fans. You know, that is one of my shows that I have people that come in from all over the world that I see every year, and I love catching up with. And I was really bummed out. I was so, honest to God, bummed out about missing the show and not feeling like, oh my God, I'm not going to get to see everyone, you know, and so, yeah, I was definitely a ball of nerves the whole night. That when I'm pretty sure the timestamp on that text I sent you has got to be, 11:30 at night, because we were working through the night to be like, okay, we've got to make this event happen. And I had no idea what was going to happen. I mean, up until like the minute before, I don't get nervous, but I definitely and I wasn't nervous about playing, but I was just like, I hope I made the right decision to do this show and everything. And then, it was packed. It was just packed.
Yeah.
It was like insane. I could not, it was shoulder to shoulder people in the Hard Rock Cafe, and I could not believe it. And it felt so good to see everyone. And of course they felt great that they were able to do something on their day that otherwise they would have been at the festival that got canceled. So.
And here's the text you wrote to me after you did that. And it was seriously one of the best days of my life. I wish I could explain the energy in the place. It was truly magical. And that's what inspired me to write the blog. I wanted to write the blog about how sometimes disappointments can turn into great opportunities. And I so admired you for turning that disappointment of not being able to perform. You were so looking forward to it that year over any other year, and you couldn't do it, and you turned that disappointment into a really positive thing for you and your fans. And
Thank you.
it just sets an example about how sometimes when something bad happens, we can turn it into something positive.
Yeah, and I think also too, because it definitely, at first I did not, I was like, no, this is gonna be a bad idea. But sometimes you just gotta, have the courage and the to be like, you know what, I'm gonna do this, and You know, it's cool because I said it, and it doesn't matter how many people show up. And it's way easier said than done for sure. And at some point, having to throw my, you know, I know I was working through the night, but at some point, you know, in the middle of the night, having to throw my hands up and say, well, whatever happens, happens, and at least whoever's there, we're gonna have fun. And then, of course, the surprise and that how many people came out, my fans, you know, that came and supported this event. It was really awesome. So, plus my fiddle's up in the Hard Rock Cafe, which
wait a
made it
minute, your
doubly
fiddle.
cool.
Listen, grab your fiddle and play a
Oh
little
yeah,
bit for us.
I do play the fiddle, by the way.
Yeah, it's
Did you know that?
It's a violin, but you play it as a fiddle.
Okay, I'm
right,
gonna grab the
grab it.
fiddle. This is for dessert, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
This is great. I'm getting like serenaded while I'm
Yeah.
having dessert.
Mariachi, serenade, you know, any of those.
You're better looking than any mariachi I ever saw.
I should have worn like a mariachi outfit. Now I'm gonna have to go figure this out.
Awesome. That was great.
Dessert
That
is
was great.
served.
Yes, yes. That was awesome. Thank you very much for
Oh,
that.
no,
You know what I
thank
love?
you.
I love when you do like something like The Clash. Should I stay or should I go? You know, oh, by the way, and this is first of all, let's also say that along with Rachel Vett of the Vets, you work with her, and you guys have done a cover of Wham's "Last Christmas."
Yes.
I've played it on my radio show, and it really is. It's awesome, and
And
this
I'm
should
so excited to tell you she's performing that song on my Christmas special.
And when's your Christmas special?
It's on WGNO in NOLA 38, December 22nd, 23rd, and 25th. So you can actually catch a live version if you like the track so much. Me and her are playing it together. I have to say, I was there when it was recorded, and it's pretty awesome. So you definitely don't want to miss it. It's good.
It's a great cover of Last Christmas by Wham.
Oh,
this,
wait. I gotta. Oh, you go ahead first.
Okay, and this is Please Call Me Miss Shaw. This is Amanda Shaw's more recent CD. Really great music. I mean, this is fun stuff. Before we go, I do want to ask you, as a woman, you seem to write songs that empower women. And it's like I get the feeling that you're saying it's okay to be sexy, it's okay to be sensuous, but don't you dare take advantage of me.
Yeah, you know, I definitely, you know, grew up putting on my makeup backstage at shows, you know, traveling all over the place. And sometimes I'd show up to festivals and I'd realize, you know, hey, I'm the only girl here. Like, I haven't seen another girl for 2 days, you know, because you've got all these men. And, you know, I love celebrating the fact that I am a girl. I love putting on makeup and hair. I know you think this is all natural, Scoot, but
Yeah, it sure looks natural
I
to me.
woke up like this. Said to no one ever, this is not the way I woke up. You don't want to see how I woke up because I flew in and landed at 11 o'clock last night. But anyways, I love putting on makeup and I love getting dressed. It's one of my favorite parts about performing and putting on a show. It's part of how I get ready. And rather than being ashamed or feeling like, oh, I should be one of the boys or fitting in, I think it's more important to like celebrate who you are. And I think everybody should have, you know, the courage to be themselves. And it is something I love about the conversation that's currently happening with our generation, is encouraging people to be themselves, because that's something I've always felt for a long time, and I'm so happy to see other people celebrating themselves.
And before we run out of time, I want to give you a chance to talk about your foundation.
Yeah, well, I brought you a present, Scoop. Santa came early. This is for your Christmas tree. The Amanda Shw Foundation. It's a limited edition ornament.
Thank you.
Yeah, and there's only 100 of them. $25. The profits are going to go to the Amanda Shw Foundation. What does the Amanda Shw Foundation do? We strengthen Louisiana families through arts, music, and culture. And my first initiative, I'm calling it Orchestrating Dreams, because it is a grant program for young people to be able to pursue their passions and achieve their goals. So whether it's paying for music lessons, equipment for a young athlete, any young talented person that is trying to pursue their goals, just like I was a young person trying to pursue goals, I want to be able to empower them and, you know, and hopefully provide some resources. So our application process is actually open now. So if you're looking for something like that, you can go and apply for that. And again, if you would like to help us raise money for this cause, if you would like to see the future of Louisiana succeed, which I would think we all want to, I certainly do.
Succeed, not secede, because we
Succeed.
tried that before.
No, Succeed, you can buy at $25
Yeah.
is nothing, you know, and
Right.
and to know that the money, it's something you can give as a gift, and if you order it, it's going to come signed and numbered. So I'm really excited. Pop City Nola partnered with me to do these, and she helped pay for the making of these. So thank you, Rhonda.
And we're gonna put it up, but how do
Thank
people get a
you.
hold of your foundation? We'll put that up on the screen.
AmandaShaw.com/foundation.
Amanda
And of course,
Shw.
you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram. So,
All right.
especially if you like dog pictures, I constantly update my stories with like stories of my dogs because they are pretty much perfect.
I loved our conversation. You ready to get into this?
Yeah, let's get into this.
What is this? Oh, I just.
You've got ice cream?
Oh my God! Well, I didn't know it was ice. It looks like it might be some kind of a lemon that you squeeze. Amanda was awesome. And look, there's only 100 of these. This could be worth something on eBay one day. No, I mean I love Amanda. I mean we're friends. We do stuff together. And so there were a few moments when it was like, okay, I got to ask an interview type question, but I hope she was happy with it because I really enjoyed talking to her. I thought it went well.
So I think it went pretty well. I mean, hopefully I get a 5-star rating. You know, I was friendly, informational. I think the service was really good. I'm just kidding. No, I had a lot of fun chit-chatting with Scoot. It's always fun catching up with your friends. And yeah, I don't even know. And of course we had food. It's pretty awesome. It was a really good night.